Welcome back to the Zero Weakness Podcast, where we talk about how to be a better lifter, how to be a better coach, and everything in between. Make sure you subscribe and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Zero Weakness Podcast. This podcast is sponsored by Establishment Coffee. Go to establishmentcoffee.com.au, use the code 025, get 25% off your order and free shipping. We're back with another episode. Hello. Everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy
birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear James. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
How old are you?
32.
Damn.
Yeah, my body feels 52.
Tres dos.
Getting on.
Mm-mm.
What's the plans for celebrating 32 years of gracing this earth?
Nothing. Just grateful to be here another year. I guess I could count as my grateful. I got dinner with my housemates tonight, and
Nice.
yeah, that's about it.
What's for dinner?
I don't know.
Big feed.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
Are you going out or are they cooking for you?
I think they're cooking.
Nice.
Yeah. So that'll be good.
That's nice.
Well,
happy birthday. Thank you for everything you do for all of us, all of Zero, all of us personally. We love you to death, and hope you have a great one.
thank you very much.
Let's go.
Really appreciate it. What have you been up to, CJ?
What have I been up to? Gosh. Flip. I don't even know what I did this weekend.
We know what you did.
What did I do?
You took your fancy car to meet up with another
I
bunch
did
of...
too.
See? I fucking guessed it.
I did too, yes. I went on a cruise.
Went up Springbrook.
Yeah.
Yes. Went through Springbrook.
What do the kids say? I went for a squirt.
Is that what they say?
Isn't that what you say when you're going for a drive?
CJ, is it?
A quick squirt?
Or a blat?
A blat.
Do you say a blat?
I've never used that term. Squirt is like when you're on the highway together and then, you do a cheeky little squirt. You like drop it, or if you go through a tunnel and you drop it a few gears and make it really loud. So yeah, but no, go for a squirt.
Didn't have a squirt together.
Yes, that was actually super fun. Yeah. Well, my neighbor owns an 86, so pretty much the same car as me, and he invited me on this cruise, and I met with these bunch of randoms, and we went through Springbrook, and yeah, it was really, really fun.
Did they all have 86s and BRZs?
No, one other guy did. Another guy had a Skyline, a couple Civics. One guy had a Rexy, and another guy with a Golf. And we all met up at Yatla BP.
Yeah.
And there was like 3 other cruises that night. I couldn't believe, like, we were just chilling there, and then this literally like 6 86s just drove through, and they're like, yeah. And I was like, oh, are they with us? Like, no, don't know who they are. Just a crew just went, and then another one went by of all these European cars. I'm like, geez, there's like heaps of cruises on tonight.
You know where CJ needs to go? He needs to go to Christchurch. Christchurch is massive. Boy racer scene in Christchurch is huge. I don't know if you can remember it, Thomas, but it's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, people cruise the 4 Avs. I can't remember what the 4 Avs are, but...
And they're all Japanese import cars. You'd love them.
Nice. But yes, that's what I've been up to.
Tom, bro, what have you been up to?
Same old. Just working. Had the novice comp of the weekend.
Yeah, that's right.
We did that. Pumped that out.
That was a big day, bigger than what I expected.
Yeah. I thought, how many lifters? We had 39, I think.
Yeah,
38,
yeah.
39, something like that.
And lots of spectators too. It was really good.
That might be the biggest novice comp in a few years.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Maybe the biggest since I've worked here.
Yeah, it definitely died down like through COVID and then after COVID. We've definitely had bigger novice comps before, but it's they've generally been pretty small the last couple of years.
They were maybe in my early years, but maybe they were before my time as well. The big ones.
Yeah, but it was fun. Yeah, it was good.
It was such a good day.
It was the 8th GC Bash. I was going through an old computer, like old photos, last night, and seeing like the original GC Bash, and it's cool to see how it's evolved and how far it's come.
So cool. I remember one year I made the mistake and I named it the same GC Bash again. So I think we've had 2 GC Bash 5s.
It got so confusing through COVID. Like,
yeah.
None of us knew where we were in time. Yeah.
I think it was when I sent you an old post and you're like, wait, is that called the same thing? I was like, oh yeah, it is too. And we just ran with it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Whatever.
That was my first ever comp 2 years ago.
Nice.
The GC Bash. That was during COVID. Everyone was wearing masks, I remember.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you were about 5 hours early.
Yeah. And then the next one I was late.
Useless.
Yeah.
What have you been up to, Gidge?
Literally nothing. Relaxing, lots of beach time, loving training. Yeah. Watching lots of movies. Being a bit lazy lately, actually, but I'm really loving it.
Have a rest.
Yeah.
Treat yourself.
Yeah.
What about you, James?
Not a lot. I've been trying to get back into some lifting. I need to be a little bit more consistent with it. I'm at once a week at the moment, so I want to try to get that up to 2 to 3 times. What else have I been doing?
Once is better than none.
Yeah, I've been training jiu-jitsu 5 to 6 times a week. That's fun. I signed up for States.
How's your neck?
Yeah, it's better now. Yeah.
When States?
10 weeks.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm 10 weeks out. So that'll be fun.
Is there... Do you just train the same all the time and like hone in your skills, or is there peaking?
You kind of peak for it, but the roles get more intense, so the training gets more intense.
Okay. So you go a bit harder.
Yeah, you just go way harder in training, and you have longer rounds and you have shorter rest periods, and yeah, it's fun. And they have these competition classes at my gym on a Saturday, so that's like where it's pretty intense.
Yeah.
So it's actually fun. So I'm a little bit sore, but it's good.
So it's like sparring essentially.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah, so it's sparring.
Does the rate of injury go up higher as people get closer to the comp because of that? Or in sparring you kind of recognize, okay, I could take this to the
I think it's
to the next level, but I'll stop because it's...
Yeah, it's like a duty of care thing. Like they're your training partners, so you're trying to look after them, but at the same time you're trying to fucking destroy them.
Yeah.
So like there's been times where someone's been able to like, they've been on my back and they could essentially just pick me up and slam me down as hard as they can. Yeah. They'll pick you up and throw you and then they'll gently put you down.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is, there's that fine line. It's a little bit different to CJ. When you're sparring and boxing, it's so easy to get hurt when you're sparring, like when you're striking. I don't know if you experienced that a lot when you're younger, but I remember when I trained for I had one fight as well. I don't know if I said that on the podcast before. Yeah. So I had one boxing fight, and I remember I got hurt sparring so many times, especially when it's other people that are new to boxing, because you're all just fucking throwing haymakers and you don't really know what you're doing. And then it's so easy to get angry.
Yes.
So then you start throwing them a little bit harder, and it gets a little bit heated.
So jiu-jitsu is a bit more calculated.
Yeah, and like you'll feel like I hurt someone a couple weeks ago. I popped their arm. I think I told you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I felt fucking disgusting. I felt horrible. It was fully an accident, but yeah, it's a little bit different. Like if you hurt someone, they could potentially be out for a year, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's your duty of care. But I guess when it comes to competition, you fucking try to rip their arms off or rip their fucking head off their body.
We were discussing how we thought you'd be pretty good at it, actually, because you're good at problem solving, and jiu-jitsu is all about problem solving.
Would you give it a crack?
And you'd be much stronger than everybody else.
I was telling Meg this morning that I've gotten pretty close over the years to going to a club, because I've always lived, like at the moment I live on the same road as one and I could walk there. And previous to that, I think it's called Southside.
Yep.
It was Inside World Gym, Southside. I live like a 3-minute drive from there.
Yeah, wow.
So I've thought about it, but I don't know.
We were talking about this the other day.
I care too much about lifting because I'm just like anything like that. It's why I slowly stopped riding bikes. Like the risk of getting hurt doing this and then impacting what I want to do in the gym.
Yeah.
Like I just care more about the gym. And I know I can do both, or I could do both. I just don't want to.
Yeah, fair enough. But we were saying this the other day because, you are very good at problem solving. You're quite mobile. And you'd be a million times stronger than anybody that does it.
I'm like you as well. Like I couldn't go into it and just play around. I'd have to go 120%. So I'd have to stop lifting. Like I'd have to get too obsessed.
I want to see Tom Bro on the mats. That's what I want to see.
Imagine Thomas not lifting.
I don't think that's going to happen, either of those things, for a little while. It's not just James's birthday today either. ZeroW Brisbane turns 1 today.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you got a shared birthday. So happy birthday to them.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, ZeroW Brisbane.
It's gone fast.
Yeah.
It's gone really fast.
It's weird. It's gone fast, but at the same time, I can't really remember Zero Brisbane not being open.
Mm.
You know, it doesn't, even though it is new.
Yeah, it's only been a year.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it's just been part of the family for quite a while.
Yeah.
Well,
And I think that's just because like Jamie and Lisa have been part of the family, Stenzel's been part of the family, Daniel's been, like everyone's been around for ages. It's just like the physical space is only a year old.
Yeah.
but I don't know. It seems like they're super busy as well.
Yeah, they've got more members than us.
Yeah, wow. I was going to
Yeah.
say for a gym that's only been around a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just such a central location. Like the
Yeah.
density of people in the general area, and like the level above other similar gyms around it it's hard to beat. You know.
Yeah.
And Jamie and Lisa are just great managers. Like, I mean, you all are, but they like mirror just what you guys do down here. They just nurture the people, look after the people, and it's just like walking into here. So
Does Jamie ever leave that place?
I've never not seen him there besides when he's here.
When he's here, yeah.
Yeah, like there's videos of him rock climbing, and I'm like,
When did he
is
do
there somewhere in the back room of Brisbane a rock climbing wall? Because I've never not seen you there.
that? At like 2:00 in the morning or something.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
that man doesn't sleep.
they give a lot, both of them. So thank you, Jamie, Lisa. Thank you to everyone at Zero Brisbane, Zero all over the place for making that place happen. Happy birthday.
Happy
good.
birthday.
CJ, what are you grateful for, brother?
Oh my gosh. I'm so unprepared.
You know we do these every week.
I know.
Yeah, I didn't think about mine either.
Flip. What am I grateful for? Can we come back?
Subaru.
I'm grateful for Subaru.
Subaru.
I'm taking the easy way out. I'm grateful for Zero Brisbane.
Nice.
Happy 1 year. Grateful for everyone that's made that place possible. So.
Nice. Bridget, what are you grateful for?
Dogs. That's an easy one too.
Look at
Little
Poot's
guy.
arm.
He's just so chill. He's so chill.
There's chicken winging.
Yeah, Poots and Buddy, we always talk about it. They're just the two most chill dogs you could possibly ask for. You don't have to worry about them. You don't have to watch them all the time. So well behaved. Yeah, I'm grateful for dogs.
I'm grateful for another year of good health. 32 years old now. Getting older, getting on, but I still feel young. Kind of, not really. But yeah, that's what I'm grateful for.
Because you are still young.
Yeah, but Bridget.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say that. I was leaving myself open there.
You know what? I said to Bridget the other day as a joke, I said to her, "Oh, you're almost a 70s baby." I thought it was fucking funny in my head, and she goes, "Oh, I am not." I was like, "Oh gosh, you got offended." It means you're getting old, when you get offended at old jokes. Genuinely getting old.
Oh my
I
god.
turned 34 in a month.
That's wild.
That's old. I opened the gym when I was 23.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I still feel like I should be that young.
Yep.
You're the young pup here, CJ.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for youth.
I don't know. I guess it's all perspective because I don't feel it. Like when I see people, what was it? I think.
You don't feel young because you sleep 3 hours a night.
Yeah. No. Someone, I can't remember, but it brought up a memory of something that happened when I was 23 as well. And to think like, flip, that was a long time ago.
What, like 4 years ago?
No, a bit longer. Oh, yes,
old
it
are
was
you?
a lot. That's right. My cousin was asking me when was the last time I was in the Philippines.
Yeah,
And I think it was 2 years before COVID, so 2018.
yeah.
And to think, that was just 5 years ago. That's not too long.
You
And
never
then
feel
I was
young at the time, though.
No.
How old are you, Bridget?
I'm 36.
Yeah. So just to clarify, when we make fun of Bridget for being old, she's not even
that old.
not old.
She's not at all.
She's just the tiniest bit older than us.
How's this? I got invited to go to paintball on Sunday.
Nice.
Someone from I train with, it's his birthday. I was like, "Oh, cool. How old are you?" And he goes, 19.
Oh.
I was like, "Do you know how old I am?" And I told him, and he couldn't believe it.
Yeah, that's hard when people in the gym are like teenagers and they look like grown men
Yeah.
that you could think you're peers with. Like, oh, wow.
But you look like you're about 25,
Yeah.
especially with that haircut now.
Yeah. I feel like a spring chicken. Shout out CJ.
I was telling Pete downstairs. You know how I just said before we were looking at old photos on that computer. We're looking at You know how the PTC Gold Coast Facebook page got shut down by what's his name back in the day? Like all the Facebooks of PTCs got shut down because that guy was trying to close.
Oh
the gym down.
yeah.
So he reported our Facebook pages because they were people, not pages. It was when Facebook was going through that. Anyway, you could download all the data. So I downloaded it. It's just on this old laptop that I have. And so I was going through all old photos, and there was all old States photos, like 2014, 15. And we were going through, and Meg would be like, "Oh my God, that looks like Lloyd." I'm like, "That is Lloyd." She'd be like, "Oh, that guy looks exactly like Adam Lamb." I'm like, "That is Adam Lamb." And then she's like, "That's Pete." Because Pete looks exactly the same.
Just as jacked as well. Eh?
Just as jacked. I shouldn't say just as strong. He was strong back then. He's stronger now. But like in the face, no difference.
He's a spring chicken. And he's a little bit older than me too.
And you still haven't said what you're grateful for.
I'll hop on the back of James's thing. Good health. It's good to be lifting again and not be in pain. And my lifting is feeling really good. So I'm really stoked for good programming, physiotherapy, and good health.
You know, Zero Pro doesn't have a novice division, right?
Unfortunately, no. I'll have to hang up the...
Someone said that the other day. They're like, is CJ competing on Sunday? I'm like, no. You can't be squatting near 300 and a
still
novice.
be a novice.
Yeah. I think he's past that point.
Yeah.
But, all right. Have you guys got some quotes?
Yeah, my quote today is inspired by Alex Evans. He's been posting one of my favorite ever shows. Okay, the quote is, "As their name implies, saltwater crocs are found in salt water, but they're also found in fresh water, which is not what their name implies, which just goes to show they're not to be trusted." That's Russell Coit. All Aussie Adventures.
I missed that show.
He went on a string the other day posting heaps of quotes from All Aussie Adventures. So good.
Bridget, what's your quote?
You either get busy living or you get busy dying.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's very on brand. Did you ever watch so Russell Coit is based kind of a little bit off the Crocodile Hunter, but more off the other dude? Did you ever watch the other dude?
Hang on. What's his name?
I can't remember.
Troy Dan? Is it Troy Dan? He was always taking his shirt off all the time.
Nah.
Or Bush Tuckerman.
Oh, yeah, maybe Troy Dan, actually. I don't know. I've never heard of Troy Dan. Oh, who's the old guy? He died like maybe 10 years ago.
Is it the Bush Tuckerman?
Outback show. I don't even know what to call it. How to search for this dude. Oh.
Type in Bush Tuckerman and see what comes up. Because that's not Troy Dan. That's a different guy.
All right. While I try and find this, James, what's your quote?
CJ, what's your quote?
Not Bush Tuckerman.
Adversity causes some men to break and causes some men to break records. Brian Shaw.
Nice.
You know, he nearly lost his leg. He had like a really bad... He only posted this video like last week about this full thing he went through. He had a really bad leg infection on his calf.
What, just recently?
Yeah. And it was like in the prep for World's Strongest Man this year. He had this really bad infection on his calf and he just tried to treat it at home with antibiotics and it nearly cost him his leg.
Jesus.
Yeah. Wild.
How terrifying.
Yeah. We didn't hear anything about it until he just made the full video on like his journey through that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
James, what's your quote?
FOMO creates suffering, yet those who suffer have FOMO.
What?
I don't know.
You've said the same thing twice.
I just went on Google and it came up. I was like, yeah, what's wrong with that? Yeah, nah, sorry guys. Tom, bro?
I already said mine.
Oh, that's right. My bad.
I'm going to have to look later. I can't find it.
Before we rip into some topics, have you guys been watching anything lately or listening to anything you want to share with us?
I listened to one that I've already listened to, a podcast with Brian Cox after Bridget was talking about Brian Cox the other day.
We were watching the Joe Rogan episode with him last night. You have to watch that.
Mm.
You'll love it.
Which one is it?
It's from like 4 or 5 years ago.
I think it's the one I was watching.
Yeah.
listening to?
Yeah.
The one where at the end they're talking about his show and he's talking about the like big screens.
I think so, yeah.
And the people from Interstellar designed
get
it.
to the end of it, though, so I'm
Okay.
not sure.
What else has been talking about in it?
Well, I just wanted to. Because I'm so confused because I'm not really into that kind of. What do you call it?
Cosmology.
Cosmology.
Astrophysics.
So I'm so confused about how they know how many. I know they said they've got this surveying machine that can count the.
It's years and years of collecting data from photographs and things that they take out in the universe and mathematical equations that you and I can't comprehend. You know, these people are so smart. But
I just can't comprehend how they come up with these.
a lot of it is theory as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I've been watching The Lord of the Rings, so now I'm up to date.
Nice.
I didn't know how good these Lord of the Rings movies were.
What's the highlight for you?
Well, the best one's number 2.
You like the Two Towers, yes.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know.
The battle at Helm's Deep.
Yeah, that's fucking hectic.
Paul Smith.
You know what though? In the third movie, you know, fucking
Gimli is his favorite.
Yeah, I love Gimli.
Yeah.
He's a fucking powerlifter. If Gimli was here today, he'd be training in this gym.
Shout out Peter Dolan. Cross Joseph Whittaker.
Legit. Gimli's a full-blown powerlifter. He's just a meathead.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So I've watched all 3 now, so I'm up to date. Mm-hmm. Now I know why everyone's so obsessed with all these movies.
Yes.
What do you think of the annoying fabricated love story in the middle of it?
Which one? Rejog my memory.
Aragorn and Arwen.
Yeah, it's the worst.
It is not the worst.
Not Aragorn and Arwen, the other woman.
Oh, Eowyn.
Yeah.
Horse girl.
Piss off.
Yeah. I always said it's his fault for being so charming at the beginning.
He doesn't like
though.
you.
Yeah.
Like, take a hint.
Oh, is this the chick and she, who does she marry at the end?
Faramir.
Yeah, Faramir. That chick. Yeah, that's kind of awkward.
Poor Faramir. He's getting like sloppy seconds. Oh, you'll do.
There's a meme going around that says she's like, she's a Rohan 10, but she's a Rivendell 6.
So good.
Oh, man. CJ, been listening to anything? Have you watched anything lately?
Hey, buddy.
Do you want to go out?
Come here.
Up on the couch, mister.
Are you grumpy?
He's just jealous of poods.
Come sit here.
Yeah, what are you watching, CJ?
What am I watching? Oh, I watched the Mario movie.
Oh,
was
is it
that good?
It's really good.
Now, wait, did Chris Pratt, he voiced Mario, right? Or
Yes.
did they change it?
I'm pretty sure. No, it's his voice.
Yeah, because there was lots of
Yeah.
controversy around it because he didn't sound anything like Mario.
No. Well, I
No?
mean, he doesn't have the. There's a little. He does put on a bit of an Italian
You need that.
every
accent.
now and then, yeah. But he's obviously not like full,
Yeah.
you know. And Jack Black was Bowser.
Yes, I saw he did a song or something, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really good.
The one about peaches.
Yeah.
The whole movie is, if anyone has played the games, it plays a good homage to every game that Mario's
so
in.
good.
Like the music and the animation is gorgeous.
Yeah.
It looks so good. Yeah, highly recommend.
Nice.
Really good movie.
I'm keen.
Yeah, I'll definitely go see it.
Yeah.
My mum sent me a message the other day, and she said, "I watched the whale on the plane. It was really horrible." And I pulled her leg, and I'm like, "Is it similar to snakes on a plane?" As in, she just watched the whale, but she was on a plane.
On a plane.
The way she worded it was like whale on a plane. Anyway, that's all I got. Sorry.
What's the whale?
The whale with Brendan Fraser. Fraser.
He's like back.
Yeah, I know
It's his
he's
comeback
back.
movie. Yeah.
It was
He won an award. For, is
yeah,
that
a big
one?
hit. Yeah, it was a good film. It's very, like, it's a very emotional drama film. You know,
Yeah.
it's not an exciting movie.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's made by the same guy who did like Requiem for a Dream.
Oh, wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
so it's got some pretty full on scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's bits of it that are kind of annoying, but I like movies like that. Like that movie is almost completely set in like one room.
Yeah.
You don't really see anything besides this one room. And I like movies that can, have such simplistic things. Or like the original Saw, they made that with like a $10,000 budget or something.
How good is it?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Was it Aussie guys or
Yeah.
Kiwi
Yeah,
guys?
so it was Lee Winnell and James Wan.
Yeah.
So Lee Winnell is the guy who's in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, who's chained up at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the guy who wrote it or directed it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what?
They're like horror royalty. Sorry.
No. I was going to say, do you know what I want to see? I want to see that Air.
Yeah. I was about to say I'm going to watch that this week.
What's it called? Air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's about, it's pretty much about when Nike signed Jordan.
Oh.
Yeah.
Created the
Yeah,
Jordan
cool.
shoe.
Mm.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. It's out now.
Did you ever watch the cult documentary of they all followed the Indian guy and they all went into the desert? It's in the same town as the guy that created Nike.
No.
Did you see that? Oh, it's a good show.
Yeah, right.
Mm.
On Netflix.
Yeah.
I'll check it out. Now that I'm a movie guy.
Yeah.
Man, the movie guy.
Yeah.
So wait, are you gonna grit your teeth and try and watch The Hobbit?
Well, I said I want to, but
I think
Bridget was
you're-
saying that both you guys aren't that interested in The Hobbit.
I
we
think-
were talking about it the other day. We couldn't even remember what happened in which movie, and
They're very unmemorable.
Yeah, nah, fuck that.
like they're good. I think you'll still enjoy it, but don't compare it to Lord of the Rings.
I just didn't realize Lord of the Rings was so action packed.
yeah, it never stops.
It's like a John Wick movie.
It's the best.
It's just,
John Wick.
it's just fight scenes.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
Saw the latest John Wick. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I need to see that.
I haven't seen past number one, and
I've only seen two.
Oh, they're all the exact
I
same.
don't
Yeah.
really remember number
Yeah.
one, to be honest.
Well, I can't remember really what happens in either because they're both the same.
All right,
Wait, I got more Lord of the Rings questions.
go on.
I don't know. Fuck. Who's your favorite character?
Gimli, isn't it?
Yeah, I really like Gimli, but nah,
Gandalf.
I was gonna say Sam.
Yeah.
I just love Sam.
Sam
a
is
true
Lord of
hero.
the Rings.
He's the
Yeah,
true
Sam's
hero.
got the fucking biggest nuts on earth.
Mm-hmm.
He is such an honourable man.
Samwise Gamgee.
Yeah, he's the man. I love that guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Sam.
It's so weird watching Lord of the Rings and then watching 50 First Dates. And seeing him in that see-through thing and being like, it's protein shake.
But do you know what? Because in the first movie, I felt a little bit bad for Gandalf. I was like, oh, he's old. Like, he can't do this. And Bridget's like, nah, don't feel bad for him.
Yeah. And he's comeback king.
Yeah, he's the
Yeah.
man when he comes
Yeah.
back as Gandalf.
Gandalf the White.
Yeah, that's the one.
How good is it when he gets the demon out of the guy,
Yeah.
slaps him across the face,
Yeah.
doesn't take no man's shit.
All right. Should we get into some powerlifting stuff?
Yes.
All right, let's do it. All right, so I got a few topics here. Tom, bro, I'm going to ask you the first question. You said you've got this question a few times already. But what does the future of powerlifting look like in Australia?
I get this question more and more and more every time I do a Q&A. So it used to be like one or two people would say it. And it's really weird when people are thinking the same things. I don't know. I just find it odd. But now every time I do it, I get like 5, maybe 10. And it's normally like, what do the next 5 years of powerlifting look like in Australia? What's the future of powerlifting look like in Australia? And part of me is like, what the fuck are you asking me for? How am I supposed to know? But then part of me is also like, okay, well, Zero APL, we've actually contributed a lot to the change of powerlifting in the last 10 years. And before I sort of say my thoughts, I'm really curious as to you guys who, we've got levels of how much you've been involved and how long you've been around powerlifting for. What do you guys think the future is like based on what you've seen change in the various times that you've been in it?
There's so many more young kids getting into it now. That's
Yeah.
what I've noticed, and that's really cool to see.
Yeah.
Like all the comps that we're holding here, so many teenage kids, and I'm talking young, like 15-year-old kids getting into it early. So
Speaking of which, Boris,
yeah, 12 years old.
I didn't realize he was only 12.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He killed it.
he did. Well, how did he go? He went 8 for 9?
Yeah, 8 for 9. Missed
Yeah,
his third bench.
Yeah. So when you put in 95 kilos on the deadlift, I'm like, in my head, because I can't remember, I think I was reffing or something. In my head, I was like, okay, he'll get this, and then we're going to make James make him do a fourth. And then you change it to 97. And I'm like, because it was a good call. His one before wasn't perfect, so was 100 there, maybe not. And then he got 97. It's like, oh, he probably could have got 100.
Yeah. He it's funny, it was actually his selection. He had really smart attempt selections. And I was a little bit gutted, I was like, I want to see him send it.
Why didn't you do a fourth?
We should have. He actually goes to Hungary, back to Hungary for a couple of weeks. So when he gets back, we'll send it.
Was there any fourth? There weren't any fourth attempt others.
I know. I normally used to just say if anyone wants a fourth attempt, do it. But then you get like 10 people who do a third who have no business doing another gentleman. Being like, yeah, I really want to have a crack. And it's like, yeah, good on you, have a crack, but come on, you're not going to get it, so just fail and walk off. Come on.
Do you know what's funny? So Nikki and Lilley, Boris's parents, really lovely people, by the way. But so they were talking about how it's cool that Boris has found another sport, and they're like, because swimming's so long and slow. And
I got bad news for you.
and then Louis was Nikki was saying that Louis was saying, why the hell did he choose this sport? It's another sport that we have to sit around all day. Because swimming meets are apparently the same, but it's every weekend swimming meets where they have to sit. It's not like you go there, watch the race. They sit around all day and wait for the races, and then if you make the next race, so it's a full commitment. And
so
then
many heats.
And now he loves powerlifting. And it's the exact same thing.
Bad news. Oh, but I mean, like, we'll talk about that because that hits the nail on the head as to like the hardest part of making commercial viability for powerlifting is that how do you speed it up? How do you make it entertaining? Like, it's one thing that you hear people say every time, and I say a lot, which is like, even we get bored during bench press. And we're supposed to love it. Like, if we get bored watching bench press, how can we expect everyone else to love it?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what the really exciting thing about competitions like Sheffield and Big Dogs and things like that. It was just, 8 to 12 lifters or whatever it is, the best of the best going to head. And it's 2.5 hours, 2 hours maybe? And that's a spectacle. That's really exciting to watch. It would be really cool if we could do or see more competitions like that.
Yeah.
But it's really hard for at the grassroots level, like trying to get people into the sport. And obviously you can't really, I don't know another way you can achieve that kind of.
I think we should do themed novice competitions.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If
be
you
so fun.
If you suggest October 31st, night of the living deadlift, like every other gym on earth has done a million times, you're off the team.
Night of the living
It's the most overdone competition ever.
Do you know what I do really like though? I like the Strength Fortress in Melbourne, how they do the team champs.
Yeah. And there's a gym in Brisbane doing a team champs as well. It's actually another one that's kind of been done to death, and it is cool. Atlas in New Zealand used to do a dress up one.
Yeah, see, something like that would be fun.
So like people would come in costume. I think they do it for their Christmas party. It's like a dress up team competition.
How does it work at team champs?
I'm not sure how like Strength Fortress but like we're doing team champs at nationals, and it's just like calculated dots of everyone on the team.
Oh, cool.
Highest dots win. And sometimes it's that. Sometimes it's like pick your 3 best, but they have to fall within these parameters, whether it's weight class or whatever. I'm not sure.
Just going back to the topic, what does powerlifting look like? What does the future of powerlifting look like in Australia? What you were talking about before, you wanted to ask what we thought. One thing I've noticed, like how you said, Zero's contributed to a lot of it with APL and obviously the gyms or whatever. But I think Zero's really set the standard for powerlifting gyms in Australia. I don't know if you guys are noticing, gyms are getting a lot better.
Yeah.
And it's really cool to see. Because, like powerlifting gyms are known for being grungy and a little bit dirty and things like that. But I don't think anyone thinks that anymore.
Yeah.
No.
So that's the first thing that I think, like, where it's going in the future is every gym's going to be, the standard of a gym is obviously a lot higher now. The bar's been set a lot higher because you can't exactly open you can't open a dungy powerlifting gym next door to or in the same suburb as like a Zero Weakness kind of thing.
And because there are so many of them, it is harder to get away with that too. I went on Will's podcast, the Nexus podcast, a few weeks ago, and this is exactly what we spoke about. It's like the evolution of powerlifting gyms and how they've changed. And it's funny. It's like you set the standard, then you create the expectation, and now people expect to walk into places like this, or it's heading in that direction, which is really cool. And it's going to make Zero better as well, because like I walk into Strength Tribe, which is, they've just moved and they've upgraded their facility, and it's incredible. Or I walk into Melbourne Strength Culture and I see aspects of their gym, or even Nexus, I walk in there and see aspects of their gym that I like. And, you know, and then I come back here, or I come back to the other Zeros, and I'm like, what can I do at these ones to elevate them and add more elements of what we like? And like, I think in 2 years' time, our lease here runs out, and I'm going to have to decide whether we stay here or whether we move on. And if we move on, it's like, I want to make that place unbelievable. If we stay here, maybe we'll do a bunch of renovations and changes to make this place up a notch, you know? Or even Wales, we're talking about Wales and how we can elevate that. And talking about, like, you know, Eugene's gym has that big halo, that ring above the platform. We're looking at what kind of options we have with really sick lighting stuff that we can do in there. It's just, how can we keep making these things better and better and better to stand out like that?
Have you got any, besides the lighting, have you got any other ideas?
For me, it's just like bathrooms is big. Like, I mean, our bathrooms aren't next level, but they're clean, which is the main thing. Nice bathrooms. It sounds dumb, but it's such a thing.
It is.
I hate going to powerlifting gyms that are in old sheds like this and walking into the toilet and being like, ugh. It feels like I'm in a factory.
Yeah.
Like, I worked in factories for so long, and you'd go into the disgusting men's toilet and be like, gross.
Yeah.
I don't think you've never been to an EMF?
No.
Nah, so they've really set the standard for what a commercial gym should be like in Australia. You know, they've got literally everything. And they just opened a new one in Sydney.
Their bathrooms are probably the size of this gym.
Yeah, they're hectic.
Legit, like gigantic.
So the one just down the road in Narang, whatever, they've got like an MMA cage. It's got like multiple altitude rooms. It's got an outdoor CrossFit area. It's got an indoor CrossFit area. It's got hot, cold pools. It's got saunas, whatever. It's got swimming pools. It's got everything. Now, they just opened one in Sydney, and they've got a snow room.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I don't even know what a snow room is. Like when you go to the Antarctic Centre in Christchurch and they got the blizzard room.
Yeah, I don't know what it is either, but there's a snow room. So like,
did they put a blizzard simulator? Like,
I don't know. It sounds like they're running out of ideas. They've already maxed out what a gym could have.
see, but to me, that's crazy, because it's like, I mean, you've spent time at EMF Narang. How much of that stuff actually gets
None.
really used? Like the altitude room. I'm sure people go in there. Like, you probably see a person in there time to time, but is it getting the use relative to the cost? Or is it just a flex to say, we've got it?
I think it's very gimmicky, because I remember I was like, oh, sweet, sign up here. When I was younger, before I got into powerlifting, I was like, oh, this gym's got an altitude room. I'm going to sign up here. You use it once. Okay, the novelty's worn off. I don't need to be training with a headache every week.
I'm purposely giving myself that. I thought the sauna would be like that, but it seems like someone's always in the sauna.
Yeah, no, the sauna gets used every day.
It's used heaps.
Yeah. And that's the same at EMF. It's always like full of people. It's annoying.
Yeah, no, so I think, a lot of it is just very gimmicky, but, you know, it's that point of sale when you're trying to, I guess, sell a membership, or with the initial consult. It just adds more, just creates more conversation.
Yeah.
It's at the end of the day, it's just a fucking, you know, it's something shiny to show them and be impressed with, because no one else has those things.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
You know what I think is going to happen with powerlifting gyms as well? You're going to get a few either like big investors or people with lots of money that come in and try and do a powerlifting gym, like try and take this idea that I'm pushing of commercializing strength training and open something closer to like a world gym or an EMF, but try and make it powerlifting. And I cannot see that working. Like I can't remember the name of the gym. If I find it, I'll send it to you. There's a gym in America that's like getting some attention and is super bougie. All their equipment is cheap stuff, but the place is gigantic. And there's like 20 or 30 like power racks in a row, competition bench presses in a row. It's like, think of the reality of training there. Because to be in a place like that, you have to be kind of in the middle of nowhere. So it's less accessible. But even if you have like 100 people in there, think of at the novice comp, we probably have 100 people in the gym and it feels ridiculous. Imagine if this place was 5 times as big. It feels empty. And so like the bigger you go, the more you sacrifice atmosphere. Like even when world gyms busy or packed, maybe that's not the word. Like, even if there were the same amount of people in World Gym as there is on a packed night here, World Gym feels like quiet. It's like, great, I've got the gym to myself. Like, the bigger is not better in small gyms like this, like small membership-based gyms like this. Bigger is not better. If anything, small is kind of better because it forges atmosphere.
100%.
Yeah.
And it's still a niche sport. It's still a very small sport in the grand scheme of things. But it's probably bigger than weightlifting now in Australia.
I've lost sight of weightlifting.
Like, can you guys name a weightlifting gym?
I can, but only because I coached the guy that owns it.
Yeah.
I coached Iron Tribe down in Melbourne, and he came to me not just for like technical stuff because he's trying to attract people. He's trying to, or he's not even trying to. He is following a similar model where it's like, okay, there's no point in advertising to weightlifters. I want to get people into weightlifting. So he's introduced like a whole bunch of machine stuff. He's added a bodybuilding section. He's programming general strength training, but with a flavor of weightlifting to be like, hey, okay, now that you're more serious about weightlifting, here's how we do it.
Is Burley Barbell, are they a weightlifting gym?
I don't think they exist anymore.
I'm not sure what the go is there.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're a club like inside a CrossFit gym or something.
Yeah.
I actually have no idea. Because Gold Coast Weightlifting used to do quite well. And I think Burley broke off from them. Like there was Lindsay and another guy, Caleb, something like that. But I have had very little to do with anything to do with weightlifting over the years. Yeah. I know there's a Brisbane weightlifting club, but I'm pretty sure it's in a CrossFit gym. And then there's Cougars, which is out like in the Chandler, the big sports super centre in Brisbane. But yeah, I think weightlifting's pretty small.
What do you so like at the moment, like Bridget just said, like there's a lot of young people. It's attracted a lot of young people to the sport, and I think social media, like there's lots of TikTok pages that are huge, that are powerlifters. Like there's powerlifting. Did you see that? What's his name? Sailor. That was in here. So he's got 2.3 million followers on TikTok.
Yeah, nice.
And he's his whole TikTok like personality is he's like an Asian guy that's good at deadlifting.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's crazy that he's a power lifter and he's got 2.3 million followers on TikTok as a kid.
Yeah, and there's quite a few of them blowing up like that, which is cool if they've got the right attitude.
Yeah.
Because the hard thing is like, it's cool. Then the other thing is that a lot of, I'm not talking about sailors specifically, but there's been all across, even since I've been lifting, internet heroes that lift massive weights in the gym and then just fall apart in comp because they're not actually powerlifters. And so I think the exposure to the sport is fantastic, but also there needs to be leaders that are teaching people the reality of the sport as well. And there are, for sure.
What I also think as well is helping with the growth. I don't know. It's like any small niche sport or niche community. People tend to gatekeep it a little bit. And it used to be I used to think it was quite a thing in powerlifting. Like, you know, this is our sport. You're not a powerlifter kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's kind of, now that it's growing, that's no longer a thing anymore. People want people to start powerlifting.
Yeah. The people that are still trying to gatekeep the sanctity of powerlifting are just old people now. Like the old, like West Side diehards. And it's kind of like, they say, you know, whatever. Oh, that's not real powerlifting. It's like, is someone talking? What?
Yeah.
I just hear old angry man noises. It's pretty hard to gatekeep now. And like you said, I think there was a period of time where powerlifting was becoming a little bit more emergent as like a new people's sport, and maybe some powerlifting gyms held attitudes of like, what are you doing in our space and who are you? And you have to earn your place here by being strong. And I think places like this have really helped change that, because it's like, no, we want everyone here. And I mean, that makes powerlifting sound bad because I never personally had that experience. Maybe once, but otherwise powerlifting has always been extremely welcoming and inviting to me, but definitely there were some attitudes like that.
Yeah, like when I say that, I never really experienced it either. Like, but you always heard of it, and I think it was from the influence of who I was following on social media. Like, I'd follow those West Side pages and people that, you know, really bought into that diehard mentality. So maybe that's just something that I thought of.
We definitely had seasons of it in this gym where there were like cliques or crews that very jokingly would make people feel like that sometimes. And if people weren't able to hang with the banter, or understand the joking nature of it would take that seriously. And I don't think we've had that for several years, like at least 5 years, 4 years, something like that. I think we've done a really good job of like weeding that out and not letting that be a thing. And a big part of that is having you guys on board to just forge togetherness. That's why
I've noticed that ego doesn't last here.
Yeah, that's why I have managers like you guys to sit on the floor all the time to monitor and manage that sort of stuff. Because without it, that's what will happen. People will just form cliques, and then it's like our group, your group, whatever. And we have groups here, but it's like, oh, cool, that group's here at the same time as that group. They're hanging out, talking. It's like,
yeah.
CJ, what about you? What do you reckon? You know, like you haven't been super involved in powerlifting besides the novice scene, which you're obviously our expert on. What have you seen change, like from the outside looking in?
I think the sport's just grown immensely, like so much. I think when I started, that was like the transition period from being this. It still is a niche sport, but this super niche sport that no one knew about. Like I didn't even know what it was. And when I started going to the gym, I didn't like it at all, but I always loved squat, bench, dead. And that's when my old boss was like, you need to talk to the Thomas guy that comes in for haircuts, because that's literally the sport that they do, is that. So like that's how much I didn't know what it was. But yeah, now to see that, like, I can't believe how many people that I see on my Instagram now that aren't powerlifters, that don't go to a powerlifting gym, that now do those movements that, you know, when I started out were like considered like heresy. Like, no, I wouldn't deadlift. It's bad for your back. You know what I mean? Like, and now it's like almost become a trend that people start deadlifting again. Like even little things like that I've noticed. I'm like, wow, you were the same person. I was like, we'd never do this. There's safer machines to do, you know, this exercise to build that muscle, whatever it is. And now, like you were talking about EMF. EMF has a deadlift bar now. It's not like a, you know, Texas, but that's unheard of. Like a commercial gym with like a very powerlifting specific barbell. Even World Gym as well. Like that's wild to me, and that's starting to be more common amongst more commercial gyms. So yeah, and like seeing, you know, I got like, there's girls that go to my church that are starting to do like squat, bench, dead, and like Sandy, she, you know, like kind of trains with them, helps some of them out, and they posted a video, and I was like, oh wow, you've got a good bench. And she was like, yeah, like it's wild because on TikTok now people are like slamming people with arches and stuff. I'm like, you're dealing with like powerlifting, you know, problems kind of thing. I can't believe that. Like you don't powerlift. Like it's really starting to hit mainstream and really catch. And especially like, I guess if you compare it to Ollie lifting, like I don't know anyone that does it anymore, like at all. Like people are surprised when I told them like that you can do it, because they're like, oh, does anyone here know how to do it? I was like, oh, James can. Like, oh, really? Like, I didn't know.
Barely.
Like, barely. But no one does. So I think, yeah, like, in my time of doing the sport, that's where it's really started to hit people outside of powerlifting. And people are starting to know, like, I remember one time I was walking around with the latch belt, and people were like, oh, you're a powerlifter. Like, that to me is like, how do you recognize this from that? So, yeah, I really think it's really starting to hit people's, like, who are out of these circles. It's starting to hit their For You page and starting to hit mainstream and cross their eyes more. So it's really cool.
You're the perfect example of the growth of powerlifting, because if powerlifting didn't grow, Zero wouldn't grow. And if you asked me 5 years ago, if I'd even have staff, I'd be like, what? Why? I've got me. Would you hire someone specifically for videos and photos? Like, I've got the latest Galaxy S6. It's got a 6 megapixel camera. What do I need someone to video for when I've got this device? Absolutely not. So circling right back to Bridget's original point, it is really cool to see so many young people coming into the sport. And I don't know, I think I'm biased with this for sure, but I think young people coming into powerlifting have a great environment to come into, because they'll get nurtured by older powerlifters. Like, it's such an inviting and welcoming environment in sport where people will be supported. And I'd like to believe that this exists in other sports. I don't know if it does. Like, it seems to be a common thing that everyone says about powerlifting. I don't get exposed to other sports, so I don't know if people say this about every other sport. But I think it's really cool to have these young people giving it a crack and lifting weights, and it's scary to think if some of them stay in it where they're going to go. You look at young Lachlan from up north, like, what's that kid? Even Boris, like, he's 12.
Mm-hmm.
What happens in 10 years? What's he lifting in 10 years if he does this as consistently and as well as he's doing it now?
That's like, do you see Troy's son, Hudson? You know he's 12 as well, eh?
Yeah.
He's 12 foot tall.
Yeah, he's only 12 years old,
He's
bro.
12 years old.
Oh, good thing he's into basketball.
So, but
He looks 16.
he did lifted 145 for a triple the other day.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
So he's actually got Boris is actually, he's ranked 5th in the 5 to 12-year-old category on open powerlifting in Australia. He's got the 5th biggest total. Unfortunately, it's not in a sanctioned comp.
Yeah.
But Troy Hudson would have the biggest total in Australia for 5
I
to
think
12.
he's squatting 100 kilos as well.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jeez.
he's very strong. He's stronger than his dad, but his dad Troy isn't strong at all. So it's not hard. Sorry, that's just you guys. I was just joking. That's just me and Troy. Me and Troy talk shit all the time. That sounded just really offensive.
He sounded dead serious.
It took me a second to register what you were saying. And then I was like, oh, wow.
No.
If you like that.
No, me and Troy have been talking shit ever since my first powerlifting comp.
Troy said, I hardly get to see them.
Yeah, they're in late at night.
Hudson's humongous.
Yeah, well, I saw him the other day when you were coaching Jess.
Yeah.
Like, he's on school holidays or whatever at the moment.
He's just shot up all of a sudden. So tall now.
But does he bench 60 kilos as well?
I'm not sure what he's benching.
He's very strong. So he came second at some shot put states, and he was the smallest guy there. So he's very strong.
Far out. It's so cool to see him, like, having such an interest in so many different sports as well.
Yeah.
Not just being a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
But, like, to answer the question from my perspective, where do I see it going? I mean, it's hard to say. Like, all I want is for it to get bigger and better. And for it to get bigger and better, we need better quality competitions. Like, our competitions are great, but everything can be better. We need, like, a more cohesive structure around powerlifting as a whole. Less exclusivity. Like, there's issues historically with the old PA model. So PA, IPF, APU, they're governed by WADA, and WADA has certain rules, and that's fine. Like, those rules apply no matter what sport you're in, as long as it's under WADA. And some of those rules are like prohibited association. Like, WADA controls who you can and can't associate with. But the issue is that, like, the leadership of IPF in Australia has historically had that inch and taken a mile, and with no legal or formal grounds to do it in. It's just like fear-mongering. They've done it really badly in Australia. And I'm an expert on this because I've been tried to be banned from the IPF at least 4 times by people in the IPF, either in Australia or New Zealand. So I know the rules back to front. And yeah, it really sucks when you hear lifters that are like, oh, no, I can't go train at that gym because of the prohibited association rules. And it just doesn't apply. Like, prohibited association under WADA means that you can't associate with someone who's currently serving a ban from WADA for drug use or whatever. But association isn't like this. So we can sit in the same room and chat. We can be friends. We can train at the same gym. We can go out and have dinner together. Association is like, I'm your coach or your physiotherapist, or giving you something, some service that contributes towards your performance in sport. That's prohibited association. So remember, I don't know if you were, this would have been around the time that you were getting into powerlifting. Ed Cohen did a bunch of seminars that blew up on the internet on Instagram because Ed Cohen's permanently banned. And so they were trying to ban all these lifters for going to an Ed Cohen seminar, saying it was prohibited association. And it was like this gray area because, like, is he coaching them? Are they just going and getting information? What's the difference from them going in person and watching it online? Like, it blew up, and it's just stuff like that kind of like, come on, we're in a niche sport where these rules are pulling at hairs. For the average person, they don't matter because they're not going to compete in IPF worlds. They just want to do powerlifting and grow the sport. If we can get rid of some of that, powerlifting will be a lot better as well.
We got people here that compete in a certain federation. that still get told to be careful training here.
Yeah,
It's
which
like,
is
what?
ridiculous. Because we've got no one banned from the WADA ever in this gym. Because the WADA list, the banned lists are public. You can go look up who's banned.
But it's like, be careful of what? Be careful of using their really nice equipment.
Well,
Yeah.
this is what I mean. It's straight up fear mongering. I didn't actually know that still went on here.
Yeah.
But like back in the day of Wilkes, he used to write to, like Banya, one of our members joined PA to do a comp, and he called her and he's like, you cannot train at that gym. Stay away from those people. He used to call me a drug dealing pirate. I really liked the pirate part. It's like, yeah, army hearty. Like he used to call me a pilot, a pirate, a drug dealer, a like criminal, all this ridiculous stuff to try and get people to stop training here. Like, that shit has to die. And thankfully, most of it died with Wilkes getting out of the sport for the most part. But like that shit has to die because it ruins the sport. And I mean, thankfully, it doesn't affect many people, and the people that do get told that are like, what the fuck? That doesn't make any sense, because it doesn't make any sense. And if you take 5 minutes to look up the rules, it's really easy to understand what's right and wrong. Anyway, going down a different path than I expected to. I think the future of powerlifting in Australia is very bright. I'm going to do my best part to work towards it. I think we've got a really good team between Zero, with what APL's doing, and Zero's association with APL, like supporting it and providing some resources and help and collaborating where we can. And I think it's only just going to get bigger and better.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Yeah. Do we have time for another topic, or is that it for today?
Let's do your would you rathers. Or
All right.
Here we go.
I got a few would you rathers. They're not as gross as they have been in the past. This is for the fellas.
Okay.
Would you? It's not a would you rather.
Sexist, misogynistic.
Well, Bridget, you can answer this
We're
too if
going to
you
get
want.
cancelled.
Bridget, you can answer this too. Would you rather be able to grow the perfect beard, but at the cost of going bald?
No.
No way.
See, I wanted a beard my whole life, and I still want a beard. Like, it's not as lush as I'd like it to be.
You've got a good beard.
What are you talking about? It's
No, because it's like, I can't grow here. I can't grow handlebars. As a kid, I always wanted handlebars, and I still can't grow them. I remember going into my commercial gym, and then this guy with handlebars, and I'm like, that is a man. He was jacked, and he had handlebar mustache, and I was like, that is the definition of man. But I don't want to be bald, so
Really?
yeah, I'm keeping my hair.
CJ?
Yeah, keep my hair.
Absolutely not. No way.
Really?
Nah.
Fuck.
Every person that's bald will trade it. Will trade their
Nah,
beard.
see,
You give up your hair.
I love being bald.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I
You've had
do.
long hair
Shave
your
your
whole
head.
life. Like you've had the last 2 years.
Remember, I used to shave my head zero. CJ, you know I love a zero cut.
He definitely did.
Yeah, you have had a shaved head, but that you have that as an option.
You
but-
got a nice shaped head as well. You can pull it off.
Nah, it's a basketball head. It's round. I look like Avatar.
Yeah.
But I'd love to have a perfect beard at the cost. Perfect beard and shaved head. That's hot. That's my kind of bloke.
Damn.
Yeah, but like no, there's nothing there. We're talking like shiny, like bald.
What? I
No
asked the
hair.
question.
No hair. You said no hair.
Yeah, shaved.
As
like,
opposed to what? Having an average beard and a good head of hair?
like for me right now, I'd trade this to have a perfect beard.
Permanently?
Yeah, like who's got it? Jordan Anderson.
don't know.
That's a perfect beard. Big, thick, no patches. That's good.
He's got both because he's also got a thick head of hair.
Yeah.
Very. He's just a hair.
He's
hair.
hairy.
Yeah.
He's
Jordan Henderson.
hairy.
But that's a good beard.
Jesus.
That's a good beard. Like Whitaker, Joseph Whitaker looks mad. Bald head, big beard.
Yeah, he does pull that off. Yeah.
Nah. So I'm going that. I'm picking
For
the
me,
beard.
it's just I would rather have the option. Like you have the option to shave your head or grow a long haircut that you had before. Like you've got the option. But if it was like not by choice, like you're balding, I don't know if I wouldn't want that.
All right, next level. You get the beard. You're bald. Do you tattoo your head?
Oh, 1,000%.
What with those little like the
No,
fake
no,
No. I'm not getting no Turkish hair implant. Fuck yeah.
What did you get? A wolf? Poods.
I don't know if I'd get this, but I really like the look of people when they have like the samurai, the Japanese stuff all over the head.
Yeah.
I reckon that looks sick.
Big samurai face on the back of your head.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. All right. The next one is, would you rather be able to play every musical instrument or master every type of sport?
Instrument.
Yeah, go instrument. Yeah.
Nice. Bridget?
That's really hard. Instrument. I think it'd be really therapeutic.
Yeah.
I'm going to go instrument too.
Yeah.
Because I've always wanted to play an instrument and be good at it, but I don't have the patience for that. And I enjoy sports for what it is. So I don't really necessarily... I like trying to be good at things, but I don't necessarily care about being good at sport. I just enjoy it.
Yeah.
There's something quite fun about sucking at sport.
Yeah.
Like, I really suck at bowling.
10-pin bowling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I suck at golf. I hate bowling because I suck at it. So that's a bad example. But, like, I like going to Top Golf even though I really suck at it. Because
Yeah.
it's funny because I suck at it.
Yeah.
Like, I can laugh at myself sucking at it.
That's like me with basketball. I'm very average at basketball, but I love it. I just love playing sports.
Like, because I think about powerlifting, and sometimes it's less fun because I'm serious about it. Like, it's, well, back in the day, like, it would take the fun out of it because I was so set on, like, trying to be, and now I'm trying to be my best, yeah, but I know it's just for fun.
Yeah. So powerlifting, I've always, like, I'd classify myself as an advanced novice when it comes to powerlifting in terms of my skill. So
CJ's like, oh, I feel ya.
I wouldn't say advanced.
He's like, you think you're an advanced novice?
I don't know well. Would you, Thomas? Would you say your powerlifting journey? Are you a hobbyist or are you a serious powerlifter? Like, do you know what I'm trying to say?
I'd say I'm serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm serious, but it's a hobby in the sense that it could never be my career. As in the sport itself, and powerlifting kind of is my career. But, like, I'm not chasing money out of the sport or sponsorship or anything like that. But I'm very serious about trying to be the best powerlifter I can be. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. And if you never got stronger, would you keep doing it? Like, if you got told, if some fucking witch flew down and was like, "Hey, Tom, bro, you're never going to get stronger from here on out."
The sport, probably not. I'd keep lifting weights, but I probably wouldn't do it as a sport.
How many more meats do you reckon you have left in you?
I don't know. I don't think I'm over the hill. Maybe raw meats, but I don't know. I'm hoping the surgeon can fix me. Then it's game over for all of you.
Wait, for us?
None of us are in competition.
I was going to say, you total 500 kilos more than all of us.
Everyone's in competition.
Everyone.
You squat more than Bridget's total.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Be a vegetarian or only be able to eat meat?
Vegetarian.
Haven't we done that one before?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I'm vegetarian.
Yeah, easy. That one's easy.
Yeah. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, you can make fake meats
Yeah.
and shit. Yeah.
Possible burgers.
And they're
stuff.
delicious too.
Yeah,
They're still
so
really good.
Yeah. And I wouldn't want to lose rice.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah, that's
Yeah,
tough.
I love rice.
All right. Give up your favorite food or favorite drink forever?
Oh,
Favorite drink.
Yeah, Gonskis.
Easy.
Gonskis.
Easy.
I tried Iron Brew. Woolies had it. Yeah, it's not bad.
Good drop, eh?
Yeah.
Creaming soda.
Yeah, it's that's what it is, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not as like really strong. You know how creaming soda can be really rich and like it's almost hard to take a sip. That's actually nice.
I wonder how much of that is mental, because I thought similar thing. But I wonder if you put like Kirk's creaming soda next to Iron Brew, if they'd taste the same.
You know what I'm going to do today, Tom bro?
Do it.
I'm going to go to the...
Blind taste test.
No, because you always go on about Pepsi Max. I'm going to go get a Coke No Sugar from the cafe.
Yeah.
And I'm going to... You guys can all do it. You guys have to guess which one it is.
Oh, no, it'd be easy.
That one's quite
Yeah,
easy.
it
You'd
would be.
spit
It would
out
be
this
easy.
Coke Zero.
Who?
You.
I like Coke Zero.
Oh, do you actually?
Yeah.
Pepsi Max
Okay.
is so much
Because
better.
Pepsi Max tastes really nice. Coke Zeros are fine. I don't know. Is Coke Zero the same as Diet Coke?
No.
Because Diet Coke tastes horrible.
Nah, so Pepsi Max to me, that's my Monday to Friday 9 to 5 drink.
9 to 5. 9 to 5.
That's my 9 to 5 drink.
Kombucha.
Coke Zero, kombucha, sparkling water. That's, treat myself.
Yeah, nice. I actually did this in a shopping center like a year ago. They had a Pepsi Max stand, and they made you do a blind taste of like four colas, and I got Pepsi Max right.
Nice.
Well, you know what?
But I drink more Pepsi Max than water, so.
I live next door to an Aldi now, and Aldi supermarkets is so good, but they just don't have they don't have things. Yeah. Like you're like, I need deodorant. And they're like, oh, no, sorry, this Aldi doesn't have that. And you're like, oh, well, got to go somewhere else.
They probably have like Gypsy.
Yeah.
So they got this real budget cola, and it's really good.
Yeah.
My dad used to exclusively drink LA Maxi Ice.
Yeah. That's the goods.
Do you remember RC Cola?
Yeah.
You used to get in the vending machine.
Yep.
Yeah, I loved that.
Gosh.
All right. Well, that's kind of us.
Awesome. Give us 5 stars. Thank you for listening. See you.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the ZeroW Podcast. If you want more information, head to our Instagram, @zero_weakness. Hit the link in the bio for all of our services and any information on upcoming workshops and events. Don't forget to leave us a 5-star review so we can have a broader reach and answer more people's questions. Thank you once more.